Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with match number 3 with playing on a budget with Mono Red Storm. Unfortunately, this is going to be a mulligan hand. No lands, cannot keep it, so we will go down to 6. This is a pretty decent hand. It's got what we need in it as far as the Pass in Flames and the Pyromancer Ascension, but the triple lands is a little bit rough. Gitaxian Probe at least will allow us knowledge of what we're playing against, and then we can play around it. So no, we'd not like to mulligan. So Catacombs come out. No first turn Thoughtseize though, so that's nice. See what we get at Manamorphose. That's actually perfect. I'm going to go ahead and take a gander of what we are up against. And it's going to be the black-green, what they call the rock deck. He's got a pretty powerful hand, especially if he draws into another land. Double Scavenging Ooze is just murder on our deck. Courser, Crewfix, Liliana, Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay, of course, takes care of the Pyromancer Ascension. And I think I might just go ahead and put out a first-turn Pyromancer Ascension. And that way, if he chooses to go Scavenging Ooze next turn, I might be able to go off if we draw into another Manamorphose. But the safe play for him is just to Abrupt Decay the Pyromancer Ascension and go from there. I mean, he's got a great hand against Pyromancer Ascension. So, yep, he will go the safe route and just Abrupt Decay it. And then next turn, I'm sure he's just going to start putting out the oozes. Locket's okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and add and put it out. And then next turn we'll have 3 mana, Manamorphose. So again, Manamorphose would be the most powerful draw. Which he gets at Treetop Village, has to come into play tap, so he cannot activate an ooze. So we need to go off on this turn. But little weak for what we have in our hand, especially with Mulligan. Faithless Looting will kind of help us find what we need. I'm going to go ahead and loot right now. But Ooze will have 2 activations next turn. Desperate Ritual. So one of the mountains can... I think it's going to be Pass in Flames that we ditch here in a mountain. And we'll check out the other mountain. And we could even Faithless Looting again to try and set up our hand a little bit more, but I think I'm going to wait. Maybe we want a Manamorphose right now just to get it into our graveyard. And Simian Spirit Guide could add 1. We actually want to Faithless Loot that Simian Spirit Guide away. And that can get rid of a Simian Spirit Guide and a Locket. But, I mean, the safe route here, I hope he throws down like a Courser or Crewfix here. But the safe route for him to do is just to exile the Pass the Flames and then start beating me down with the Scavenging Ooze. I'm going to completely take out the Storm Package next game and try to go the Young Pyromancer route with Lightning Bolts. And just overwhelm, because Liliana is a terrible card against Young Pyromancer. Too many tokens out. So let's hope he casts something. I really hope he does, because we can definitely go off next turn. He's going to Abrupt Decay the Locket. That's pretty good as well. Now I can't flashback. And he can still exile the Pass in Flames. So I'm going to Gitaxian Probe him. And hopefully we get something. Maelstrom Pulse, Scavenging Ooze, Courser, Liliana. Reforge the Soul, I can't quite ramp up to it. And that was not a good card. Because it will take 5 to... Liliana, yeah, I don't want to give him... I mean, he's got a pretty powerful hand. He's got Liliana's. He's got Maelstrom Pulse. I'm going to give myself one more turn And that abrupt decay on the Locket actually really hurt. As we could have... Oh, and he doesn't even exile anything. So we get a bit of a blessing there that he doesn't exile. If he throws down Liliana, we could be in a bit of a pickle. Inquisition, which is going to get our Desperate Ritual. Again, that was actually a great draw for the Inquisition. Because now we really need some help with a card off the top. And I don't even know what card we could actually draw off the top that could get us out of this. It'd be a Miracle Reforge the Soul would be the perfect draw. But now I know he can't cast anything else in his hand, so could be in good shape again if we... At this point, I do think we Reforged the Soul. I probably should have last time. Well, he still goes the route of another Scavenging Ooze. So that's interesting that he goes this route. Because there's Manamorphose. At least it finds us a card. I believe we do use it. For a Goblin Lore. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can do a Goblin Lore. As this... It can draw us 4 cards, but unfortunately we'll probably discard the Reforge the Soul. I'm going to do it, though. See if we can get something else in the graveyard. We can cast this Locket for 1. And we keep the Reforge the Soul, so that was actually really good. But now he can start going crazy next turn with the oozes. Actually, all he needs to do is throw down a Liliana and make me discard this Reforge the Soul. But if I actually draw into... Yeah, now if I actually draw into a land, then I can actually cast back the Past in Flames, and we could actually go off. So... Yeah, here's to drawing a land. We're going to be a little bit... Gitaxian Probes we won't be able to cast back. So, one-time land? Okay, sweet. So we get a land. Now we can Pass in Flames. And I believe we'll be okay. I think we can go off here. Because now we can... I'm going to get Gitaxian Probe to try to find... few more solutions here. Mountain, that's bad. We're going to Manamorphose for 1 to add 2 red. Desperate Ritual. We can... Is there a Pyretic Ritual in the graveyard here? Well, we'll cast it here. That puts us up to 5. Manamorphose for red. And I'm going to give us 1 more Gitaxian Probe for 2. And there's a Goblin Lore, but that's going to be pointless to cast at this point. We just Reforge the Soul. And hope to hit something. We hit a Manamorphose, which there are none in the graveyard now, and we got rid of the Desperate Ritual too, so maybe I should have done that. There's a Pyretic Ritual. So we can go Manamorphose just to try to cantrip here. And then we can... Pyretic Ritual... And then Desperate Ritual, cast a Faithless Looting, which finds us another Desperate Ritual. We can actually cast this Locket for free. I should have been, yeah. We can cast the Locket for free, which Desperate Ritual will add us up to 5, but this isn't going to find us. What we need to do is Faithless Loot here. There we go. Perfect. So we can discard the Grapeshot and the Mountain. And we can actually cast and splice this. For 7 mana. And there's 9 mana now. which we can Reforge the Soul. And now we should be okay with another Pyretic Ritual. Let's see if we can get a Faithless. We can get a Pyromancer Ascension out for free, or for one. Pyretic Ritual to throw a counter on it. And then another Pyretic Ritual to throw one more counter on it, which we can now Faithless Looting, which will copy it twice, which finds our Past in Flames. We can definitely just discard both of these and cast the Past in Flames. Which then allows us to cast all of these Desperate Rituals again, which copies them. And we can throw out this Pyromancer's Ascension. I should have done that earlier. And we want the Manamorphose last. So cast this Pyretic Ritual, which puts another counter on it. And then another Pyretic Ritual. Which we can now Manamorphose. This should find us our other Grapeshot, just to be safe. Cast blue here. Which then we can cast the Gitaxian Probe for a blue, which draws us 3 cards. And there's Grapeshot, which should, I don't know if it's, yeah, 28 spells. Wow, yeah, I'm way close. I thought I was down in 18, but we've gone through a ton of spells in this. Yep, turn 6. So we get it off even with some problems of getting hung up with Abrupt Decays on the Lockets and the Pyromancer Ascensions. So I kind of want to bring in Lightning Bolts and Young Pyromancers. Empty the Warrens are especially powerful against the Jund brews. And same with like Young Pyromancer. I think that I might go this route. Again, against decks that want to really disrupt our plan, we get rid of Goblin Lores. And we can get rid of one Grapeshot here. And I think since we're on the play, we're safe to just cut a Mountain. And we'll submit it, or on the draw. Now he's going to bring in a lot of hate. Hopefully we can drop down a turn 2 Young Pyromancer. And go from there. And just overwhelm him with the tokens. Or if we can get off even like a turn 3, empty the Warrens, we should be okay. This is a very, very good hand. We have a first turn Locket. And again, if he wants to, the thing that makes this deck so much better than the regular Storm is disrupting it with an Inquisition is not nearly as good as in traditional Storm, as we can just go and find our Reforge the Soul. And Reforge the Soul with a lot of mana out is just game. So there's Reforge the Soul. We don't want to find that right now, but we'll go ahead and lock it. And we should have some time to set up our hand. I'd love just to get like a Young Pyromancer here. Okay, he's going to decay that. Again, that's fine. Locket's good, but if it's going to use the second turn for decay, we should be, finding in some pretty decent stuff here. Could I actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, no, we still need another turn. I'm going to Faithless Loot here. And we're definitely going to get rid of this. And I kind of want to get rid of this other Mountain, drop the Simian Spirit Guide, and throw out Young Pyromancer. But at this point, we might not need Reforge the Soul or Manamorphose. But Manamorphose, yeah, I'm going to get rid of Reforge the Soul. And then we're going to exile this to add a red and throw out the Pyromancer. And now he has to have an answer for the Pyromancer, which is a Goyf, which is very, very weak against with Pyromancer. There's another Pyromancer. That's tempting, which I think we can throw it out. And he could have Maelstrom Pulse, which could be a bit of an issue, but I think we just, whoops, don't have the mana for it now. But I think we'll be okay if he doesn't have the Maelstrom Pulse. I mean, I'm just blowing out if there is a Maelstrom Pulse. Liliana, though, we at least have some protection against. Oh, it is a Maelstrom Pulse. So that was a terrible play on my part. I'm going to hit by 5, and that's most likely to be game now that I got rid of the Reforge the Soul, as I'm on a 3-turn clock with it. I guess I could have kept... I'm just going to Manamorphose here to try to find something. And we could cast that, but it's just going to be Faithless Looting and get rid of it, which we can get rid of the Simian Spirit Guide, and I'm thinking the Desperate Ritual. Cast the Locket, and again, we're okay with a... Actually, we're okay next turn, unless you can destroy the Locket. And if you can destroy the Locket, then we're going to be going on to game number 3. So a Liliana here would actually be really good, because it gets rid of the Manamorphose, but we can still top deck into what we need. Actually, I can't cast the Reforge the Soul. I'm thinking of being able to flash it back, but... Yeah, that hurts a lot, because you make me discard this Manamorphose. Again, Reforge the Soul gets us out of this, though, a Miracled one. Completely gets us out of this. Which, it's a mountain. There's a Pyromancer Ascension. I think we'll play it. And we have one more turn to miracle a Reforge the Soul. So again, I should have just probably kept the one Young Pyromancer out and then cast 2 spells. Or cast a Pyretic Ritual and then cast the other Young Pyromancer to put tokens out. And this would have put a little more aggression on him, not allowing him to either Maelstrom Pulse. He probably would have still Maelstrom Pulse, but at least give us some tokens to give us a few more turns against the Tarmogoyf. Ooze is good, but it's not going to do too much. I mean, it's going to shut down the Pyromancer's Ascension a little bit with 2 activations. But, I mean, if we just draw into a land here, then it's game. And, in fact, if we don't draw into a very significant card here, it's going to be game. And it can't be Past in Flames does not work here. It's got to be Reforge the Soul or like a Manamorphose. If I were him, I'd probably just exile double Manamorphose here. He gets rid of the Simian Spirit Guide. That's very interesting. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay. He gets rid of Manamorphose. That's exactly what I would have got rid of. Pyretic Ritual is not going to do it, so we're going to go on to the next game. So again, I don't know if I like these Young Pyromancers. Is it better than a Grapeshot or a Goblin Lore? I don't think so. I don't know we have to worry about Lightning Bolt. They do get rid of the Scavenging Ooze. And I can go off with it, but again, I think this is the right play. Yes, we like to play first. Decent hand. Faithless Looting, Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual. No, we'd not like to mulligan. I'm going to first turn Faithless Looting to try to find like a Locket. Locket would be perfect. But we're going to get rid of definitely this Faithless Looting. And yeah, this land. See if he has a Thoughtseize. I haven't seen a Thoughtseize yet. Or we did see an Inquisition, but it came late. Those are traditionally hard cards for us to deal with. So I'm going to throw out Young Pyromancer here. Unfortunately, that's just a little bit late to Reforge the Soul. Or a little bit early. I need to come next turn. We are going to Young Pyromancer. Pass the turn to him. See if he Abrupt Decays it. And he forgot to do that at the end step, so he's taking some extra damage here. Unless he wanted to see if he drew into a black source or a green source. But he probably should have cracked that in a turn so he didn't take that 2 land. Other than he's not in a hurry. I mean, I haven't done any upfront damage against him without Grapeshot just winning the game. So see if he gets Abrupt Decayed. I'd love to see, like, yep, Abrupt Decay. So that's actually going to protect our Pyromancer's Ascension, which is more powerful at this point. There's a probe so we can actually see what's in his Okay, he's got the Inquisition, so we need to get that Inquisition into play as soon as possible. He also has that Scavenging Ooze. So Pyromancer Ascension is the right play. But we missed our land drop. We needed to hit a land. Sometimes these Reforge the Souls can be hard for us to really utilize. I kind of want to. I don't want to fill up his hand too much either. He's gonna. I think he's gonna Inquisition and throw out an ooze. Best card I could draw into is maybe another Desperate Ritual to get a counter on the Pyromancer's Ascension. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. And he should take actually like a Desperate Ritual or Pyretic Ritual here. And he takes the Pyromancer Ascension. I 100% disagree with that. Because he has answers. I mean, all we really need is one of them active. So actually, I'd like to see Reforge the Souls miracled here, of course. But see what happens. No, if it's a mountain, that will allow us to at least miracle the Reforge the Soul, which I believe we do. Which finds us... I guess that might have been the wrong play. I'm going to look at his hand. Because that brings another... Okay, no Maelstrom Pulse. So we are in very good shape because it gives him Scavenging Oozes, but we already have a counter on it. And then next turn we'll be able to Reforge the Locket and then Reforge the Soul again if we want to. And so we're in very good shape, depending on what he does here. I mean, he can exile... He can't really exile much from my graveyard. Scavenging Ooze is going to be very, very weak at this point with the amount of lands I have out with another Reforge the Soul. I mean, he needed to top deck into a Maelstrom Pulse or an Abrupt Decay, which is very likely with only seeing one. I mean, we've gone through 20 of his cards in his deck and only one Abrupt Decay. So Liliana would be incredibly weak here if he has Liliana. And he's going to go ahead and Scavenging his Gitaxian Probe. That's interesting. It's a card that we absolutely do not need in our graveyard. I mean, here he needs to get rid of Faithless Looting, not Gitaxian Probe. And he gets rid of the other Gitaxian Probe. Yeah, it's Faithless Looting he needs to target. He's going to put out a Goyf here. No Desperate Ritual, that's fine. And Pyretic Ritual. So we get to cast the Faithless Looting and then go off. And we should win here. I mean, with a Locket, a Desperate Ritual, and another Reforge the Soul, it's going to be very, very hard for him to come back from this. So unfortunately, my audio cut out here. So I'm just going to do a play-by-play with replay with this sped up. So we play a Locket here. And then we try. I definitely try to go off here because we have the Reforge the Soul. So again, I'm going to speed this up. And then we can... It's going to be very hard for us to miss with the Locket out and him tapped out. And then the ability for us to actually get enough mana sources. And I think that we have the Pyromancer up. We can then go for the Desert Ritual, which adds us 6 mana, which then does allow us to Reforge the Soul here. And then... yeah, we can Faithless Looting there for almost free. And then we do find the Past in Flames, so that makes it that much easier for us to go off because now we can just Past in Flames and then proceed to cast everything in our entire deck. So again, this will just be sped up. I'll try. I probably won't commentate much because it is going to... All we need to do is just find... I don't know if our Grapeshot's already in the graveyard or if it will be in the graveyard. And there's another Pyromancer Ascension coming down. We can easily... and especially with 2 Past in Flames, we can easily hit what we need to hit. So we hit the Manamorphoses, and the cool thing again is you can actually play these before the second Past in Flames goes off. And since this is in the main phase, the mana will stick, and we'll be able to use it. And the only thing we have to worry about here is just self-milling because we're down to 20 cards. And then, yeah, again, just finding the Grapeshots. And I think we're even okay storm count wise to actually kill him at 14. I mean, he's really helped us out with the shocking himself or the thought seizes or whatever he did to actually get himself down to 14. And yeah, with double Pyromancers, it's going to be short work. So I guess just enjoy the rest of the video. And we'll wait till we find that. There's a Grapeshot right there. And that will be, yep, that'll be 14. And we end up actually winning this round and going on to, this is an 8-man queue, by the way. I don't know if I stated that in the video. And this was round number 1. And yep, there we go. So we do go on to round number 2. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.